90% of people lose money. This is a statistic that is often talked about in the trading community. And I want to make a video around it, looking at it a little bit closer and seeing what you can do to actually beat the odds. Now, before we get started, if you are interested in what I'm doing and the trades I'm in, you can head over to my Telegram channel. I'll show it to you real quick. This is where I call all my trades live. Here we go. That's what I'm in. Here's two trades that I've called in the Telegram channel. One just this morning, GBP CAD. Here is going to profit, and CAD CHF, which I've entered sometimes last week, which is also going nicely into profit. It is almost at the profit target. And I've called them in here. So just head over there. It's in the description or in the comment section, the link. And let's actually get started with the topic. So 90% of people fail. Now, this sounds like a lot. It sounds like this is, unusual amount of people who are failing. And my assertion is that it isn't. The reason I'm making this assertion is that you can look at startups. How many startups fail? 90% of startups fail. You can look at any discipline where you are needing to perform against other people. You're going to have always a bell curve where there's some people that are going to perform really highly and really well, and you're going to have people in the middle, and you're going to have people at the end that are doing really poorly. How many people can live off chess? Probably not that many. How many people are making it to the Olympics? Not that many, right? So it is not like trading is this somehow this unicorn phenomena where you have a lot of people just failing. In any endeavor that you are going into, you have usually a bell curve. And it happens that in trading, you have a bell curve as well. Now, I do have some issues with this statistics of 90% of people are losing money in trading. And it's called the survivorship bias. Basically, the statistics, in my opinion, is not going to take into account the people who actually stick long enough with trading for it to be relevant. So you get people who see a YouTube video like this one, they go and they ape into some broker, they start trading, and a week or two later, they quit. Yet these are part of the losing people. How many people fail if they're sticking for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to this? Are we still at 90%? I personally don't think about it. I don't have the stats for it, right? So who knows what the actual percentage is on the people who actually have embraced it as a skill. And this brings me to the next point. Why do so many people fail in trading? My opinion is that people have the wrong idea about it. Meaning they think trading is easy and it's an easy way to make money. It probably can get easy to make money with it as you get good with your skill, just like it can be easy for Magnus Carlsen to win a tournament because he's just really, really good as a chess champion. But to get there, you actually need to master the skill. You're not going to be able to master the skill if you keep focusing on the goal, meaning you keep wanting to make money, which is counterintuitive. You're like, well, yeah, obviously I want to make money. And so you keep focusing on making money. What you don't realize is that good habits is going to help building the skill. And with the good habits, you're more likely to make money. Now, before we go any further, I totally forgot to tell you, at the moment where I'm recording this video, I have been profitable in demo. I have had a losing streak on my first live account, 40%. I've recovered all of that. I'm, by the way, documenting that in the Telegram channel, but also my FX book account. So you can see it. So I've gone from minus 40% to break even and then some. I'm in profit at the moment. So you can, I'm just mentioning this here so that you know the source. Maybe in a year or two when you're watching this, maybe I have demonstrated that I can't do this and I am a losing trader, or I've demonstrated I can do this and I am a winning trader. We will see. So anyways, you're focusing on the wrong thing, which is the goal. You want this kind of outcome. It is important to have a goal, yes, but it is really bad to keep measuring yourself against this goal if the goal is a result of certain habits and a skill set. What you should be focusing on is on the skill. You should be focusing on how you enter a trade. How do you identify a good trade setup? How do you manage a trade? Meaning, as each bar comes online, you look at it. How do you inform your decision? How do you manage your emotions? How do you manage your mindset? These are all sub-skills of this umbrella term called trading. Trading has many sub-skills, and you can look at each one of them and you can take it apart and you can train that skill set. And so when you actually have the skill, so you are in demo, you have proven that you're profitable in demo. So you have, for example, been able to consistently identify good trade setups. You've been able to enter them. You've been able to manage it. You've been able to take your profit, etc., etc. You've done all of that, and you're going live. Now, a new set of skill comes, like your emotions might come into play. But that's a different kind of skill that you have. You don't need to, do everything at once. You don't have to have the whole trading skill set handled by just going live. You can take your time to figure out each step along the way. And when you're focusing on the skills and you're starting to build good habits and you're learning along the way, the money is going to follow. You can then start your live account. You can start with a small amount, which whatever that means for whoever, different person is a different, has a different idea of a small amount. For some people, that's a few $100. For some people, it's a few $1,000. For some people, it's $50,000 because, they have millions in the account, so it doesn't matter. So it's up to you, what a small amount is, but you can again start there, and then you can start looking again at the skill. Am I executing a skill with the live money? Am I able to execute as I was in demo, or am I floundering? You can take that skill and you can learn it. Doing that is going to stack the deck in your favor, because you're now effectively focusing on what needs to be focused at. You're not focusing on the money, you're focusing on your execution of the skill and slowly building that skill and getting better at it. And the skill itself becomes rewarding. Because you see, when you have the wrong goal and you focus on the money is the reward. It is not the skill and getting better at a skill. You need to shift your mindset to, I'm learning a skill and I want to make learning the skill rewarding in and of itself. Then you have, in my opinion, a much higher chance to be a profitable trader. So once you actually have identified, okay, so a lot of people are focusing on making money, and so they go in, and by the way, just to be clear, like focusing on making money has all kinds of negative consequences as well. You start to size too heavy. So like, let's say, I tell someone, just start small and do a small amount. You're like, well, I'm not going to get rich from that. Well, yes, you aren't, but you are building a skill which can make you rich. And so if you're like, oh my God, I need to make money now without having proven that you can, you're much more like just blow the account, give all the money to the market instead of actually making any money. So by focusing on wanting to make money, by sizing heavier than you should, you are basically, betraying yourself and your goal, because you're taking on too much too early and it doesn't really work out. Right. And by the way, I am just as much in this camp of having made those mistakes or making those mistakes. That's why I have this trading channel in the Telegram, this YouTube channel where I'm documenting my stuff and I'm showing my learning process so that people can learn from what I'm doing. Right. So the other thing that I want to cover, so 90% of people lose money. Yeah. Okay. Now, what does that actually mean, right? How can you stack your deck in your favor? We have covered one point, which is, looking at it as a skill. Second point is shifting your time horizon. A lot of people think, I'm going to do trading and within a few months, I'm going to be making money. Yes, some traders, they are profitable within a few months. They are often the exception rather than the norm, in my opinion, after what I have investigated and seen in the trading community. A lot of people, it takes years. It takes 1 to 2 years for a lot of people to become consistently profitable. For some people, it takes 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever. So you need to actually look at a larger time horizon in terms of what's going to make you profitable or when you're going to become profitable. then you have a different attitude towards it. You are treating it with the proper respect and the proper due diligence, rather than just, I'm just going to go and make money and it's so easy and effortless and whatever. And you get lucky at the beginning, you make a bunch of money and then you lose it all, right? So look at it in a larger time frame, because then you are going to stick with it. Why are people give up? Because they have the expectation, I'm going to go press a few buttons, I'm going to make money, I'm going to quit my job, and that's it. And then they get disillusioned after a month or two because they realize it's not that easy. So by making your time frame longer of how long you're going to give this a shot, again, you're stacking the deck in your favor, that you're more likely to be in the 90% rather than in the 10% rather than in the 90%. I spoke the wrong way. All right. Then what else is there? Well, in my opinion, it is important to look at people who actually are successful in this game of trading. This is a little bit of a tricky point, because nowadays YouTube and Instagram, whatever, is flooded with fake gurus. Basically, people who are pretending that they are indeed a successful trader. Not, they are faking things, and they're pretending that they are successful. And that comes at a cost, because then you're learning from someone who doesn't actually know what they're doing. That is problematic, right? Which is why, by the way, I'm always transparent on where I am at in my trading journey, so that you can put it into the proper context. I'm not someone like Nick Shawn, who is been trading for 8 years and he's been profitable for 6 years. And by the way, check him out. He's one of my mentors. And that's what I have done. I have gone and I have actually looked for people who have been successful, and I've tried to learn from them. So I've been mentored by Nick. He has been incredibly helpful for me. Other people that have been helpful is Tom Hougaard. You can check him out. He wrote a book, The Best Loser Wins. It's a good book. He trades live every day in his Telegram channel for free. He said has a very different trading style than Nick Shawn. But again, I learned something from Tom Hougaard. I learned something from Nick Shawn. Tom Hougaard also endorses Al Brooks. He said there's a good place to get started. I got his course, Al Brooks' course. It's very difficult, in my opinion, to learn from him. His teaching style is not the easiest, but I've learned a lot from him. I've not done a deep dive. How profitable is Al Brooks? So I can't comment on that. But a source who is profitable, Tom Hougaard, knows him very well and knows that, I believe he knows that he's profitable. So again, he was a good source to learn from. So I was lucky that I was able to find people who are actually doing what they say they're doing, and they are profitable doing it. I have avoided a bunch of the YouTube gurus that later on have gotten exposed and shown that they are actually just trading on demo account, or they're faking certain things and all of that kind of stuff. So these are 3 good people. I'm sure there's other people out there who are good, who are honest and transparent, and they are actually profitable in doing what they're doing. Now, you're not going to be able to just copy them. If you're trying to just copy them, you are not taking into account that trading is not just about the skill set itself. It is about the interplay of your personality with the skill set. It is almost like when you look at learning an instrument. Someone who's playing the cello can have really big hands, and so they can do certain scales and how they move the fingers differently than someone with smaller fingers, or someone is faster with their fingers, or they're thinking, or whatever. This is all kinds of different personality traits and just traits of our being that we need to take into account. So Tom Hougaard, for example, just to show you how different people can be. Tom Hougaard never adds to a losing trade. Nick Shawn pre-plans and adds to losing trades. Al Brooks adds to losing trades, scales in and gets out with different positions, one at break even, one in profit, or the whole thing at break even, etc. So you have different people trading differently, and they are profitable. So you can't just say, well, I just need to do this. I should just not add to my losers. I should only add to my winners. And by the way, Nick Shawn he does add to his winners, but it's not his preferred way of trading to add to winners. So it is vastly different from each other. these people, and they have different psychologies, and you have a different psychology, I have a different psychology. So what you can do, you can learn from these people, you can absorb some of the things, make them your own, and then craft your own path with this. And in my opinion, again, this is one reason why there's 90% of people that are failing, even if the people who are sticking to it, is that people are looking for a path. Like, I just want to walk this path that someone else has walked, just do what they have done, and I will be successful. It is not that easy. In my opinion, trading is a entrepreneurial endeavor, meaning you need to carve your own path. You can't just follow someone else's path because you're not them. You're a unique human being. You have certain psychological propensities that may have an overlap, and you're like, actually, I can take that from there. That really suits me. This doesn't suit me. And so you need to actually experiment with it. You need to try different things out to see what works and what doesn't work for you. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. A lot of people are taught in school, this is the right way, just follow this formula, do this and that, get the good grades, succeed, and that's why you're going to have success in your life. And in trading, in entrepreneurship, that is not the case. Yes, there are often good practices that are going to help you to stay alive and to make it more likely that you're going to succeed in this. Like, for example, if you're going to go and you put all your capital into the trading account and you're risking your entire capital on and off the account on a trade, you are less likely to have success if you keep doing that. Yes, you can I wouldn't put my entire capital in there and then risk it. I could put a portion of my capital in there and then risk the entire capital off the account on there and grow an account very quickly. But again, that's then done in a different frame. It is not done from a place of putting everything on the line and basically being broke and have to go work again so I can have enough capital to trade, right? So do you see how there might be certain principles that are very useful, but still they aren't, often they are not the thing that is put hard into stone and written on stone. There are some leeway to them, and so people are a bit lost because they have all this freedom and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to create structure in all this freedom. They don't know how to teach themselves, how to give their brain the best opportunity to absorb knowledge and craft it and make it their own, which is, in my opinion, another reason. So what can you do? Well, you got the first thing, which is, you have the larger time frame in mind. You have the outlook of it being a skill, and now you have the option of being like, well, how do I best approach this so I can create a structure for myself? I'm going to find my mentors, I'm going to learn from them, and then how do I give myself the freedom to explore, and from that explorations then craft hypotheses and structures and rules in a way that is suitable and useful for me? Because a lot of times hard rules are not the most useful. I mean, I have some hard rules, like I don't put my entire trading capital at risk in throwing to one account. That is a hard rule I'm never going to break. But otherwise, the rules are not super hard. But maybe you do better if you have hard rules like Tom Hougaard, which, like, I'm never going to add to a losing trade. That is a hard rule for him, and he does really well. But you need to find that out yourself. You need to be flexible enough and curious enough to find it, and give yourself time for your brain to adapt and be okay being in the unknown, right? Well, so what else is there? I'm sure there's a lot more, but I just want to make a couple more points and then wrap it up, because I don't want this video to be super long. And that is, people just look at trading, they see it's simple. Someone goes, makes 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 bucks, whatever, in a few minutes, in an hour or whatever. And they say, wow, this is amazing. It looks so simple. They don't see all the subskills that this person has mastered, because trading is, to a large degree, not physical. The only thing you do physically is you press a few buttons. And so you don't necessarily see, and you see the chart going up and down, and somehow this trader is nailing it, and it just made the money. So it looks like, wow, that looks really simple. I can do that, because you've never tried it. If you were to look at a skill like tennis or ballet or something like that, you know how hard it is to move your body gracefully or with high speed and accuracy and all that, because you have a body, you have trained your body at least to some degree. You probably had some kind of practice in school, so you have some idea about it. With trading, you have no idea about it. You have some idea, for example, about math, and so you can say, well, you know, math is largely a mental exercise as well. You do very little physically, but you know it because you've given it a try. Trading, you haven't, and it looks so simple. And so you have this wrong idea that it is simple. And on top of that, you don't understand that one of the skill sets that is in there is being self-aware and being able to handle your emotions. That's often totally overlooked. Yet these are the things that are absolutely crucial in trading. If you are not finding a way to be self-aware enough to know when is your brain getting hijacked by fear or greed, and what do you do in those moments? When is your brain getting hijacked by boredom and you starting to trade when you shouldn't be trading? When is your brain getting hijacked by revenge because you feel like you shouldn't have gotten stopped out? And so you re-enter a trade with heavier size and everything that you shouldn't be doing, because it is not based on a rational way of looking at the chart. It's just based off, oh, screw you, market, I'm going to get you back. Those are all important factors that you need to know. And so you need to have a certain emotional awareness and self-awareness of yourself. And you need to be able to regulate your emotions enough so that you are able to execute on good trading habits. Which is why you need a journal, you need to something that you can reflect on, you can go and look at, and you can look at those trades and you can check them out and you can be like, yeah, that was good. No, that was not good. That was actually fear-based. Now that I look at it, I thought it wasn't. But then, you know, the sneaky thing with fear is it can rationalize itself into your brain, and you're like, you think you're thinking straight, but you're not. And that's why so hindsight is really important, and looking at those and then getting better at discerning where the fear start creeping in. What were the physical markers? How can you next time discern that you might be having fear and you're not in the best of your mind, in your mindset, that you maybe need to step away? So you can see, you know, this is now turning into a video of, you know, all kinds of sub skills and what you can do and all that. Because when you look at trading more, you actually plan for trading. You actually break it down. You can then have a plan on what to do. You don't just go in and ape in without really a plan. Like, when you look at trading, in my opinion, trading is to a large degree is very bad in terms of education, because there's all got a bunch of fake gurus, and then there's a lot of self-taught people who simply have certain propensities. They're really good at certain things. They don't even know that they're good at it. They maybe have not even had to learn it, and so they're not very good at teaching it then, because they just kind of made their way through it, you know. But you can actually break a lot of the skills down, and you can be very pointed in your approach of like, okay, I'm going to learn to control my emotions or manage my emotions, be more self-aware. There are practices I can do that's going to help with my self-awareness. There are practices I can do that are going to help me regulate my emotions. There are practices that I can do that are going to help me read the chart better. They're practices. So I'm going to go and I'm going to practice them every day. How many people are actually taking this approach in trading? I don't think many, which is why you have a 90% failure rate. And I do believe you might have actually a lot less of a failure rate if you were to be approached like if you were to learn chess. You learn chess, you can go and you can get a teacher, and that teacher has all kinds of ideas and knows these and these things need to be learned. You need to learn the opening, you need to learn the middle game, you need to learn the end game, etc., etc. Their mental factors need to learn, and they will teach you, they will take you under their wing, and they will teach you that way. I don't think there's that many people and resources out there in trading that are approaching it this way, in a systematic way, which is really unfortunate, because the failure rate will probably be way less, because now you have, when you have a whole map of these are all the skills associated with trading, these are skills that come naturally to me, I'm quite good at, these are some of the weaknesses, but they're really crucial for trading, so I need to work on those. I'm going to target them every day. I'm going to have a practice for them. It's going to make a huge difference. And I believe you can stack the odds in your favor for trading if you take much more of a holistic approach to trading, and you look at it in a way as a skill set improvement, and all the different sub skills, and you incorporate it in your day. You find your mentors, you learn all the other stuff that I've mentioned, and you will be much more likely, in my opinion, to succeed. Now, obviously, you can come and watch me in my Telegram channel and see how I flounder and make mistakes and embarrass myself and have successes and all of that. And you can make up your own mind whether what I have shared in this video is actually worthwhile to listen to, or whether it's all garbage. So anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with people in the trading community if you believe it's going to be useful for someone. And I will see you in the next one. All right, take care.